In general, I'd say I was never an ostentatious kid. I never broke a bone, never sprained an ankle, never knocked myself out. I wasn't a tree climber, or a rope swinger, or a fence jumper. In fact, my forays into the art of childish self-destruction for humor began relatively late in life, and would last only a few months. I burnt bright and hot, bringing brilliant colors to the brushstrokes of general stupidity. But I had no idea my masochistic masterpiece would come by way of cinnamon. I suppose this time of my life is what I'd call my cinnamon period, and it began late in August of 2011. While hanging out with some friends in someone's dorm room, I was eventually dared to put my finger in a mousetrap. Normally, I wouldn't do such a thing so blatantly stupid, and no amount of peer pressure would ever make me change my mind. However, this time, I felt a strange compulsion to give it a try. Yeah, it wasn't the most pleasant experience. I got lucky with just a severely bruised finger. The lack of blood flow caused my fingernail to turn black, which eventually fell off. In hindsight, the intensity of this act set my artistic expressions back a few weeks. But we all have to start somewhere. It wasn't until late November that I would pick up the figurative palette once again. My roommate was a townie. Every Sunday, she'd go to her grandmother's house to help her clean up. One Sunday, I joined them for dinner. It was after dinner that my roommate introduced me to one of the greatest concepts known to man. The key to winning a box race is in the preparation, specifically how you decorate the box. Bitch and flames aside, use crayon to color the bottom of the box. Crayons are made of a type of wax from soybean oil. This will reduce the friction between you and the floor.
Topi saya bundar, bundar topi saya.
This is what was missing from my first blunt attempt. Sheer childish glee. I had found the dazzling colors I was looking for. All I had to do was go back to the child I was and do the things I had never done before. That night, to celebrate my discovery, I gave myself mild electric shocks for an internet audience. My surrender to infantile behavior was complete, and there are a number of immature acts that I'm quite proud of. But this isn't about them. This is about my masterpiece. This is about the Cinnamon Challenge. The Cinnamon Challenge is an internet sensation I stumbled upon. The idea is pretty simple. Try to swallow a whole tablespoon of cinnamon without the aid of any liquids. You can let it rest in your mouth to start with, but then you have to swallow it all at once. Turns out, this is a lot harder than it sounds. Allow me to break down what just happened. To start with, having a mouthful of cinnamon doesn't taste good, at all. It's a kind of sensory overload. Sort of burns the tongue. As I swallow, the cinnamon travels down my throat and spreads everywhere, including my lungs. My lungs respond by aspirating the powder back out, sending it up into my sinuses. The powder that I didn't aspirate gets wet and clumps together. This large clump of wet powder blocks my airway. I can't breathe. Unable to get the oxygen it needs, my brain goes into flight or fight mode. An impulse from the medulla of my brainstem signals the reversal of production. The technical term for it is emesis, but you may know it better as okay. This was the last of my stupid acts. I settled down after that and put all my efforts into studying. A friend even managed to get me an internship at a visual arts company. Those days are behind me. Well, for now.